What's good people? Welcome back to the Venus Exchange. I am Alicia Christine. I am here with the angelic Amber, the star Nova. We got the loving Laura and the lovely Leslie. All right, I'm so happy about today's episode. Leslie, please share with them all what the episode's about.
Alrighty. So, good people, welcome to Venus Exchange, brought to you by Lavish Journey. Today's episode, it's going to be about vaginal health and wellness, right? Mm-hmm. So, in honor of that, it's called W.A.P, but not what you may know it as. My spin on it is W.A.P is going to be for womb and portal. Mm-hmm. So, what does W.A.P mean to you, Laura?
So my what is it? Acronym. My acronym would be Women Are Powerful.
Ooh, I like that. Mine is going to be Wealthy Ass Pussy.
Mine is going to be the W.A.P. What's the W.A.P? Warm and protected.
Ooh. Okay.
Wow. That's hard to follow up.
I sounded like a thought. No.
I don't know if I can follow that up, but I'm going to go ahead and say, y'all, I'm sorry. This was some homework that I didn't do. I was trying for the longest. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and say whimsical and passionate.
Okay.
I like it.
I love it. Okay, so we have our W.A.P episode. All right, so we are here to explore women, and we're about to awaken our authentic femininity. And we're here to heal the hurt and patterns created by modern life through our sexual experiences, health, and our everyday encounter. So I created a small little game for all of us to play. We have like a couple questions right here. We're all going to pick, and we're just going to go ahead and explore the topic. So who want to go first?
Let me just pull the Band-Aid off.
Okay.
Get this over with. I just read it.
Yeah.
Normalization of how vagina looks. And what should a vagina look like?
Right. Right.
Well, let me show y'all. No.
Bring it up.
And for this part of show and tell. Okay, so do I answer it?
Yeah.
Okay. How do I answer this? I answer this like if I'm looking at porn, or do you want me to like come over to like a real Okay, so look here. If you're in the business of showing your vagina, I'm gonna just let you know this is what I want to see. Manicured, don't gotta be bald, but manicured. Get a veggie facial. All them little black dots, them is ingrown hair. It's dirt in there. It's all sorts of stuff in there. You need to get it. That's a different topic. Okay, so I don't like them little black dots and all of that. Wax your butt. Your butt is like
The butthole?
the whole thing, like clean. No pricklies.
That's
no
the least painful part.
No peach fuzz. Right. The butt strip is the least painful part of the wax. But just clean. Now, as far as the color, whatever color your skin is, that's the color your stuff is going to be. Unless it's all black and beat up looking because you don't take care of the skin on it. Not black, because I'm black. But if I didn't take care of the skin on my vajay, it would look like an elbow. Like, do you want your crotch to look like an elbow? No. So you got to do that. But as far as the inside, clearly shouldn't be nothing colored coming out of there. So you need some clear, milky juice. Shouldn't be yellow, shouldn't be green, shouldn't smell like nothing to come out of Mitchell's Market. But yeah, that's a vajay. Every vajay is going to look different. But for me, excess hair creates moisture and adds to like issues. So that's why I say trim. It needs to be manicured. It needs to be cut your grass. And wax your ass.
But technically, hair is there to
protect.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's why I don't let them get the little part like right by my
Opening?
serpent.
Oh, okay.
Like I don't let them get that part. Like I leave that part, but the rest, like the panty line and the butt and all of that can all go, but I do leave like the little crown.
Yeah.
Like how
Just show us your vagina. I want to see what you're talking about.
okay, so if you're looking at a vajay, right? And if you're not happy, then your clit not gonna be out, right? But so it's in, so you got the little hood
Unless
over
your
the
vagina
clit.
looks like that.
I mean, unless you just got the
Some people already like.
some people got the snake head. That's cool too. But if you know, like mine's mouth is in, and then I got the hair. I mean, the lip, kind of like the top of the labia that wraps around is there, and then the hair, like there, I leave that little bit of hair there. But all the top of the bikini line and the panty line and the butt, all that's gone. But I do keep the little patch because hair is protective, and that's what any hair. Like if you're clipping your nose hairs, you're just sniffing extra stuff in. That's just hair in general. Hair is supposed to be a protector, so I do like to protect that part. But the other one, I keep it out. And I have a lot of hair, and I can be hairy. So hair in general is for me in those closed spaces, and I'm a sweater, so it's just.
Yeah, that's what makes it
It's like
dangerous.
if I keep too much hair down there, I literally need the whole bath every 2 hours, or I'm gonna be smelling tart, and I don't do the tart twat.
Yeah, tart twat.
Can I add something to the normalization of the appearance? Also, I felt like when I was younger, having the labia be larger than the outer lips, I used to like want to cut mine down. Like, yes, for real. Like I used to Google it. Like, how do I like get this inside? Like this don't look right. And I think we should normalize. Like sometimes the inner lips, you know, flourish out like a beautiful
what about
blossom.
Hey,
Yes.
I'm right there with you. I got the same thing going on.
Me too.
Yeah.
And they don't make it normal.
Butterfly lips.
She said loose lips. No, I like butterfly
lips.
flower.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say what
Nothing
people
loose.
say, because when I look
That
at
is what people say.
when I'm on Pornhub, I'm like, I loose lips.
Okay, but that's why
That's
we
the
need to-
normalization thing, right? Because
Right.
like that's what they have on there. But like you said, 3 out of 5 of us just said that that's what.
4, yeah.
4, yes.
So everyone but the one who's like, that's not normal.
Right.
Like that's because they don't make it like that. So that's like exactly what that's
So,
talking about.
yeah.
That's crazy.
I think y'all need to get
Yeah,
on Pornhub and make this right.
And hate ourselves.
Right, because I think it goes unsaid with people who do have vaginas that look like that, because we are told that vaginas aren't supposed to look like that. And
Now I'm the bad guy.
She is.
no, but for real, because I remember when it came time for me to actually start having sex, I was accused of not being a virgin by the boyfriend I was dating for so long because of my vagina. And I'm just like, what? He like, yeah, it got touched, I could tell. And I'm like,
What can you tell?
They don't know a thing.
Sir.
They don't know.
Right, what you just said. Loose
Exactly.
you said it yourself.
right.
Yeah.
I just think I'm not gonna ever try to assess I'm not gonna equate the tunnel of the vagina to the appearance of the outside, because I know that they're two completely separate organisms.
That's real.
I'm just saying, from a visual standpoint, if my lips got loose and started doing some of the things that I see, I'm like, oh, I don't want mine to look like that. Like, I like for it to look a certain type of way. Maybe it's because I've been looking at it for 30 years, and that's just my standard of what I
Yeah.
want to see. And we do tend to be attracted to, like, more or less what we are. You know what I mean? So if I'm watching porn, I'm gonna look for somebody, like, it's a visual for me. So if I want some, and I'm gonna find somebody to look like me getting some, because that's what's gonna make me feel like I'm getting it. So that's all it is for porn. But I love y'all.
Thanks. Our butterfly
Are your
vaginas.
butterfly with JJ's? I love it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, also when it comes to look of vaginas, I am pro hair. Like, I
Same. I was gonna
love
ask
hair.
everybody. Yeah.
I love hair. Like, even when I am looking at other vaginas, I just love when people have
You ain't
embraced
gonna
their
like
hair.
them. Look at we do not like each other's vaginas. Who would have known?
I like when I see somebody post a picture and you catch a little whiff of an imperfection.
Yeah,
Like you see a couple bumps on the side, or you see like a little, like it's like a little dark spot. You're like, okay, finally, like everything not perfect. Let's just get that clear. We're not perfect.
Yeah.
I don't think there is a such thing as like a perfect vagina. I think that, okay, so like stripper, Do y'all follow Malaya Michelle?
No.
The stripper. She has an OnlyFans now. But she used to be Drake's girlfriend way back in the day. But she has a very fair skin. And she has the prettiest booty and the prettiest vaginal area that you will ever see. Why? Because she's been vagin-faced. She literally takes a file and files her elbows and her knees and her skin so that nothing's dark and nothing's pigmented. So she don't have the little black booty crease that most of us have because she exfoliates so well. And she was just talking about her self-care regimen because her body is her business. You know, so I think that a lot of times when we, like for me, now luckily I got sent, so I know that the porn pussy is not the one that I'm supposed to be seeing when I go in the bathroom, because I'm not a porn star and I don't get paid for the main. Well, that's the difference. Ain't nothing free, but she gets paid to make sure that her booty looks smooth and soft and there's no hair. Like, she gets paid for the perfection of her body, so it makes perfect sense that it looks so good. So I don't have a big like thing about it. It's just that aesthetically, as a woman, I'm attracted to neat things, clean things. You know what I mean? Yeah. So the hair thing for me, like I said, I'm a sweater. So hygienically, having a lot of hair just does not work for me. I work out 5 or 6 days a week.
That's true.
It just doesn't work for me. And I spend long days out of the home. So if I'm getting up, tune in, ladies, because y'all probably don't know this. If I'm the type of person, I wear panty liners every day. And I don't even, not even the type that have cycles and things like that, really. As of recently, yes, but for like 10 years I didn't even have a cycle, so I didn't have to. But just the moisture, like the W.A.P, like between sweating and just being, some people just have juicier peaches than others.
Normal discharge,
yeah. And people just have so if I went a whole day with no panty liner on, literally my drawers will be drenched by the time I get home. Like creamy, crackly, and the whole nine. Like so graphic. But they would. So I wear panty liners to kind of keep me from doing so much panty laundry. So I just personally would never keep a bunch of hair down there, because it's just adding and holding and it's too much. It's too much for me.
I wish we had a guy on here, but I just want to say, I thought like most guys would care and be like real super particular, but when it comes down to it, I don't think they care.
Well, let's ask them.
Like, do y'all care?
Yeah, do y'all care?
The guy listeners.
Yeah, we need to do a poll.
Are you what's it? Bald or patch? Or
like
nice plain
or straight
nice
jungle
plain.
bush?
I don't know.
Like jungle untrimmed.
Right. And then ladies, do y'all like hair, or would y'all rather like
do y'all do the landing strip or take it all
the
off?
Bush. Right.
The bush, like what?
Or the baldness?
I'm
someone's initials. I've seen that.
That's so cute. I love design.
The martini glass
and I love
cute.
hair. I mean color. But you know, I wouldn't do it.
I do too.
When I see people like dye it,
like hair.
Yeah.
I'll be like,
what about piercings? What about piercings? Because that goes into the.
I love seeing piercings. But even not for me, I wouldn't do it. But for people who are bold enough, brave enough, and maybe if they are maintaining their vagina, I wouldn't touch her like that. Like, I wouldn't do that. But for people who are like, I mean, it looks very like a beautiful expression. So
I'm terrified that it would like knock my spidey senses off.
That's what you said. It's a 50% chance that you can lose it. Yeah,
I don't want my nerves down there.
It's too risky.
I ain't about to ruin that, because
not doing
broke.
it.
But that's how I feel about nipple piercings too.
Same.
I've had those done several times, and it's because I don't have sensitive nipples, so it's just like something there, because it literally like it didn't even hurt, like and, you know, because they don't do nothing, like you just. It doesn't do nothing. So, having them there was just like jewelry. It was just like lip gloss,
little danglies.
Yeah, you know.
All right, so who's next?
I'll go. Okay, stop pressuring me.
Okay, hold on. Let me just bunch that over there for you. She said, "Stop pressuring me."
We did all look down there though.
Alrighty, so. Oh. How do you feed your vagina?
With
Over here, hold on.
Who's asking?
Okay. So, I feed her lots of nutrients through the things that I eat. I drink plenty of water. I drink kombucha. Love it. Well, that's another story for another day. But yeah, I drink water, kombucha, plenty of teas, things with probiotics, vitamins, things to keep her nice and juicy. Make sure everything, is status quo down there. And I give her lots of love. I also feed her love. I as of recently, the past couple months, I started speaking to her.
Yes.
So yeah, that's my girl. That's my girl. So, yeah.
Good answer.
I like it.
Y'all ever heard of like the pineapple juice, watermelon juice?
So let me talk about it.
Yeah, because
I'm like, that's acidic, and you got never mind. But go ahead.
See, I'm not pro pineapple juice, but I am pro watermelon juice. And like we got all these Beyonce fans out here, but they ain't listening to her. But even before I correlated that she even talked about it, that was my thing. Because like naturally I was just drinking watermelon juice for hydration for my body. But then I started noticing benefits with my sex and with my vagina, and I'm like, something's going on here. So I start digging into like the nutrients and the things that watermelon does for that area. And
wait a minute. Dig deeper on the benefits. Don't just skip over it. Like, we're talking taste, we're talking hydration. Like,
I'm about to get there.
Get there.
I like to build it up. But, like Beyonce said, I've been drinking watermelon. All right. So, it's going to help your vagina get very moist, especially if you deal with vaginal dryness. Drink a lot of watermelon juice. Make sure it's watermelon that's seeded, though. And all you gotta do is just take it, blend it. You could strain it, or you could just drink it like that because the seeds are good too. But it helps with it smelling fresher, but it don't give it a scent. It's just a more fresher scent. Like it'll be like, oh, like, you smell healthier, and it helps. Yeah, it just, those are the two things. Just a fresher smell and a fresher, wetness.
can I just say also, transitioning to a plant-based diet also completely changed, like made a better smell, like no more funky days type thing, like at all. Like,
I be trying to tell people, like, I'm big on not telling people like, oh, you need to stop eating meat. But cutting back will definitely benefit your vagina because your vagina talk vegetables and fruits like greenies and probiotics and amino acids. That's what your vagina is looking for. But another thing, I feed my vagina with fenugreek. And I don't know if people are hip to fenugreek, but if you drink fenugreek tea and stuff, it'll have your sweat smelling like maple syrup. And I just remember I was at the gym recently and someone like, you smell like sweet. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's coming out my scalp, it's coming out my skin, and then it comes out your vagina. So like when someone's down there or you're down there, you smell your panties, it'll smell like it'll smell real sweet. And you know how some people be like, there's nothing you could do to make your vagina taste different. But
no, your pheromones are real and they are in everything. So like your neck sweat, your hair sweat, your under boob sweat, like your your skin system is one big ass system. So those are the same glands that are everywhere else. So like she's like natural deodorant is one of those things. Like so many people have a tough time with natural deodorant. I was like, it's your diet.
Yeah, that's
deodorant works the same.
Yes.
It's your diet and funk the aftermath of which your body has digested comes out of your pores. Yes. Like Maya had this thing. She's been a vegan for a long time, the singer. And she said, I can never date a man that's not vegan. I can smell the meat coming out of his pores.
You can.
That's a real thing. If you go on a fast or a liquid diet, it heightens all of those sensations. So that is so absolutely... I did the fenugreek a lot for breastfeeding.
Right. And
so I was on it for a long time.
And make the breast taste sweet too.
For the baby.
Yes.
So I was like, so that's, and also not so much even ingesting it, but topically, like yoni baths and yoni steams and herbal baths and, oils and things like that. Like people, I watched a girl get dressed at the pool. She took a whole bunch of Bath and Body Works, scented lotion, and she was like, and when she slid her hand, I was like, I started stinging for her. I was like, you putting that? So, yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. And also, I don't know if somebody was talking about this, but your vagina absorbs what's there. Like, it's a receptor. So it's there to receive things. So, when you're putting like those lotions and the talcum powder, like y'all see what happened, it sucks it up and then it's down there. And because it's not a seeded thing, it's not a natural thing, the body can't do anything with it. So it just pollutes the area, it toxifies the area. So that's a very important to be mindful of what you put down there. I recently just purchased some yoni oil, but before that, I would just only put olive oil down there. Coconut oil is cool.
I was about to say, how do you feel about coconut oil?
Coconut oil is cool, but sometimes I play it cheap depending on what I use it for. So I don't get the super
best
refined one. So then I'm like, I ain't about to play with this other one down there because that's toxic too. But I can always afford extra virgin olive oil. So olive oil on the boobs, olive oil on the...
I use shea butter and cocoa butter. How y'all feel about that?
Oh, down there?
Everywhere, not in there. We're inside,
I was just
of course.
Say, it's just kind of a little too heavy.
It's a little heavy for me because I'm a sweater. So I gear everything around my gland. I have hyperhidrosis, which means that my thermostat is broke. My body always thinks I'm hotter than what I am. So I sweet more than the average person.
Too.
Girl, that's
Thank you. I know your struggle. I really do.
And I'm not doing that.
No, but what you were saying, like, that's why I was big on like just sharing with people the different like vagina soaps to not use. Like, actually, like, your vagina cleans itself, really.
What do you use on your vagina right now? If you say Dove,
cut it
or Summer's
out.
Eve
Or Vagisil, cut it out. And then I see people are making like vagina bar soaps. I'm like, no, like, actually your vagina, the simpler the better. It's just that simple, and your vagina cleans itself. So I was in a long-term relationship, and I only used water, and he was like, dang, that's crazy because it's clean. And I'm like, yeah. Or sometimes coconut oil, if I felt like I wanted to get in there a little bit, like with my finger, coconut oil, just wipe it away, rinse it. It's just that simple.
There's a brand that can I like name drop brands? I don't want to get us in trouble or anything. That I want to tell ladies to stay away from.
We just named a couple.
Oh yeah, y'all did. Okay. So if anybody like ever shops in bulk and you shop at Sam's Club, do not buy any body products by the company Members Mark. They are not good for our lady parts at all. Stay far, far, far away from them. So Members Mark, Sam's Club, remember that.
I got a question about the fenugreek though. Do you just put for people who want to try it, is it just the powder mixing it with the tea, or are y'all straining it, or
I boil the seeds, or sometimes I put the powder in smoothies.
Okay.
But I mean, you can always just boil the seeds and make a tea. Put some honey in it, and let your pussy talk to you, because it's gonna talk. I'm telling you, it's gonna talk back. But and it tastes good. It tastes good. I don't want to get too weird, but have y'all like tried y'all vagina?
Oh, all the time.
I think that you should.
All the time. Yeah. All the time. I'm weird.
Yeah.
In the shower. I'll be like, yes.
In the shower.
Yes. Y'all are blessed.
More water. Y'all are funny, man.
Can I take one? You ready?
Oh.
What?
There you go.
More questions.
Right,
do we all get to answer more than one?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
What are your thoughts on birth control? I want to say about 3 years. It's been a no for me. Unfortunately, 100%. Like, no. I guess I saw this video. I don't know if y'all know Nikisha Riley, but she did a whole video on like the symptoms that can come from birth control, and she does which is probably the closest thing I would do. She has something that can check when you're ovulating, and like it gives you like a green light or a red light to go. Or you know how you can just use the calendar to tell like when you're ovulating and when you're not. I know that's risky, but I can't do like the man-made chemicals. I can't do the shot. I don't want to do a patch. I don't want to do any of that. I even feel like condoms. I don't do it. That just all like doesn't sit right with me. So if anything, I'd rather be abstinent if I had to, type thing. If it came down to it.
A natural herb that I drink is the neem leaf, and it's supposed to be like a natural birth control. So
you must drink a lot, because I know you got to have like a high usage.
Well, I'm not going to say that I drink it for that. I just know that it's one of the benefits of it. So.
No,
it's a no-go for me. My bad.
No, you're fine.
My bad, girl.
No, I had an IUD for a few years, and I got it taken out early last year because I just started to have like weird symptoms all the time. Like I was always having cramps. I didn't have a regular period ever. I just had a lot of PMS symptoms all the time. And this was after like 3 years of having it, and I felt like I had no problem. I got it in after I had my son. But then I just started to have issues the longer it was in, which I read a lot of women that happens to after having it in for so long. So I finally got it taken out. Like I didn't know like where my cycle was at. And like after I got that IUD taken out, it's been like over 6 months now, and I would say it took about 6 months, and it'll probably take about a year for it to get out of my system and for me to fully regulate. That's what I've read too, because it just messes with your hormones so much. I had the Mirena, which is the hormonal one, and I didn't realize until I got off birth control and studied stuff how being in flow with your cycle really connects you to yourself and your body, and how much that IUD was like a barrier between feeling connected to myself. I have a book that I read that talks about like tracking your cycle. I have the app Flow that you can track your cycle on. I looked more the book I can't remember the book that I have. It's a very large book. I'll have to get back to it, but it's all about pregnancy and like your cycle and stuff.
Is it pink? It's like the hardback one that's kind of pinkish.
No, I don't know what it is, but a friend recommended it to me and let me borrow it. I can't even read the whole thing because it's like one of those textbooks that just got all that information in it. But yeah, I started to be able to understand like my moods and like why I was feeling certain ways at certain times of the month, and being able to take care of myself in better ways, like depending on what part of my cycle I was in for that month. And like I just felt way more in control of my emotions, way more in control of my body. Like there was nothing disrupting that. And it's just been getting better since then, and my cycle has like regulated itself so that I can almost like control it. It sounds weird, but like I remember like I was going like out of town for a weekend, and I was like, I really just wish my cycle would come, like, and it did. Like that's like a whole nother topic, but I'm way more aware of my body.
Can I comment on, like, when you were talking about the hormones, you reminded me of why I even was put on birth control in the beginning. I was diagnosed with PCOS, which was polycystic ovarian syndrome, which really isn't a current diagnosis. The doctors, they don't know what was going on. But they did it because, like, the testosterone and other, like, masculine hormones were too out of whack. They were too high, and there was, like, you have issues, like, with acne, facial hair, all sorts of things like that. And so I was taking it. They put me on that to, like, regulate things, and then I guess eventually a test came back, but, like, the symptoms were not being helped. Like, if it was just still a hot mess. So I really felt like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to change my hormones through my diet. Yeah. So that's how I felt like was the way to go, because that was not the right answer at all.
Yeah. And can I say, since I've been regular on my cycle, and like I try to watch my diet and stuff, and I have not had any PMS symptoms. I don't have PMS symptoms. Like I can feel when I'm out. I don't have cramps. Like I don't, like nothing. Like and like, they make our society think that's so normal to be in like so much pain and to like have all this stuff. No, like that's not normal.
Or a heavy flow, like a super heavy flow.
No, that's not normal either. Like something's off. There.
And so it's kind of creepy, because as a trainer and working with people who at some point they come to me because they're concerned about their health. It's so funny because I say it so simply, but it's like, you know, it's the diet. Like you can do whatever you want to do for this 45 minutes with me, but it's what you do when you leave is the diet. And that is like your inability or your refusal to change your diet literally creates your disease and dis-ease. Either or. So a lot of people, myself included, I'll say, like, I am, like, healthy as a horse. Like, I'm a super healthy person. Like, good panels and good energy and all that type of stuff. But, you know, the doctors will say I'm, like, obese or overweight. I think I'm overweight. I'm not obese yet. 2 more pounds and I'll be overweight. But even me, I'm like, well, I don't have any disease. You know what I mean? But it doesn't necessarily mean that your body's happy with you just because you don't have a diagnosis. You know what I mean? But it trips me out how people are just, like, if I told you, look, all you got to do is eat nuts and berries, fruits. And you know, like, you tell people what you need to do. Like, they tell you juicing for 30 days can regulate your diabetes. It can lower your cholesterol. Like, people tell you this, but you would rather pay for a pill to be able to still eat whatever you want to eat. It's the trippiest thing to me. But I don't want to talk about the birth. I have an IUD currently. I am getting it taken out January 20th. I'm getting it taken out because I'm a big believer in, like she said, the pussy gonna talk. So I have a long history of birth control. So I swore by the shot. Love the shot. I never gained weight. I was like the shot candidate. Like,
Depot.
Same here.
Love the Depot. Got off the Depot after about 8 or 9 years. Not consistently. I would always, like, forget at some point and end up falling out the cycle. But I got off of it because I was getting older and I was like, I don't want my bones to be messed up, so let me get off of this. So I got off on that and switched to pills and got pregnant. So you can imagine how I felt changing up what's been working for me my whole life and got pregnant. And never really was a person that wanted children or anything like that. I always worked with children. I always loved kids, but never really just saw myself as a mother. But then I got pregnant and I didn't know for 3 months that I was pregnant. Like, I was literally, like, living my best life still. And then so when I had that baby, I was like, oh, this shit can't never happen to me again. But I wanted the IUD put in right then, but I did a natural birth. So they were like, look, if we go in there and put this in now, you're going to be in excruciating pain. So I went back in 6 weeks and got it put in. And I've had it ever since. And now I never had any periods or anything like that until about 4 or 5 months ago. And then I started having, you know, spotting, and to now where it's like regular, and it won't be like heavy or anything, but it's like this. And like I talked to my boyfriend about it. I was like, look, the whole reason why I got this is because I wasn't in a secure relationship, you know, and I didn't want to get trapped by nobody else, and I don't like periods. Not because they were ever bad. They were never bad or anything, but you go so long without having one. Like, literally, I was on Depot since I was 16 years old. So I'm 31.
You were used to it.
So I went a long time without having any cycle. So you just don't want it no more. You know?
Ooh,
so
that is wild.
Can I ask a question for the people who don't know? Can someone explain what IUD is?
It's an intrauterine device. So it's like a little a little contraption, a little loop. It's a plexi loop, and they stick it at the base of your cervix, and it releases hormones on its own little schedule. Mine's is a 5-year, so my son's 3.5, so I should have like another 1.5 years on it. But like I said, I feel like something has to be changing because now my body is still able to release, and I don't know if that's a sign of fertility, but on a spiritual realm, I feel like I do want more children, and that cycle coming every month is just drawing me closer to and it's letting me know, like, you're still capable, your body's still able, you're still fruitful, take this shit out and you know, get to what you want to do. So I feel like as I started coming into more of alignment that I did want more children and I did want that, then my body started giving me the reminder.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
When you were going so long without a period, where was the blood going?
I don't know, and I never asked.
I just wonder because, like, what was the physical, like, sensations or experiences? It was just...
Nothing. Like, I never got acne. My hair never fell out. I never gained weight. Like,
No
I was
mood swings.
no moose. Like, nothing. Like, nothing. Like, I had no complaints about Depo.
I was
like,
so
all.
anti-Depo. Even when like everyone I knew was getting, I'm like, why would you go get that shot?
No. And I mean, for me, it was more like I've never been a medicine person. Like, I've never been a sickly person. So I've never really had to have medicine. So when they was like, pill, I'm like, pill every day. What else you got?
Yeah.
And I do have a latex allergy, so you fucking young, you broke, so it wasn't like I can afford lambskins. I was like, all right, this on my insurance. Shot 3 months, come back in 2 months. Cool. And I was super responsible. Like, I would be going to my appointments, like, stick me, like, with, like, the happiest Depo candidate you would ever know. But, you know, the Lord protects children and fools. And by the grace of God, I remain fertile. I've never had any bad periods. Now, I will tell you, in the times where I did decide to be natural, like when I went natural with my hair, I did go about 9 months without getting my my Depo shot because I wanted to see. Well, honestly, I didn't get a period, so I missed the shot. I wasn't having sex, and I've been celibate for from like 21 to like 25. I was celibate. So I was celibate for about 4 years, abstinent, celibate, whatever. Wasn't getting none, so I was like, I don't really need this. I'm not having sex, and it took my period forever to even come back. But baby, when it came back, it was the murkiest, smelliest, funkiest. It wasn't heavy or like
So that's where
uncontrollable. Shut up. It wasn't.
That's what I was looking for.
Right. Where is the blood?
It wasn't uncontrollable, but it was dark and it was weird.
Yeah.
And it went on forever. Like, it was like maybe like 5 weeks of random clotty, funky.
I was just
like
stuck up there.
Yeah, that's all I think about every time.
And so
Your body needs to release
when that
that.
happened to me, I was like, oh, this period is way too long. I could do a period, but baby, a 2-week period, a 3-week, a month, and then it would go, like, so it would be like 2.5 weeks. I'm like, cool, yes, nothing. Skip a week, then week 3, here it comes, it's back. Like, what's up? And it's the same thing. It was so uncontrollable. I was like, nope, doc, hook me up again because this ain't working. And so, but I say all that to say, like, it doesn't matter where you are, if you're pro pill, pro shot, pro this, pro that. Like, the toughest thing that you can do is wean yourself off of it. And I speak from a high place because I ain't did it yet with this last thing with the IUD. And like, I don't have a bad time with the IUD. Again, nothing's wrong. But due to the fact that I do want children and I know it takes a while for your body to get used to it, and the fact that I'm getting a period anyway, I'm like, take it out. What good is it? What service is it serving? My life will not be any gravely impacted by a pregnancy now versus a year and a half from now. It's no different. So just take it out.
Yeah, I never used birth control ever in my life. So I don't know. I was always against it, but I also never really ever, even young, wanted to be tampered with. Even by a penis. So it took me a long time to even engage in sex too. And even when I did, I guess I just was. It was like, it is what it is. If I have a child, if I get pregnant, you know.
See, and growing up how I grew up, it was like no kids till you can have some kids. You can't pay for no kids. You can't have no kids. So don't be out here trying to make no kids. So protection was always.
That's a real thing.
Leslie
was
said
always
that too.
forced. It was always forced. Like, you need to be on something because you ain't about to bring no babies in here for
Yeah.
to take care of.
My mom, she sorry.
No, go ahead.
She we were walking to the store one day, super random, you know, mother's instinct. She was like, "Are you having sex?" And I couldn't lie. I'm like, yeah. So she was like, you know what? You're going down to the hospital. You're going to get on birth control ASAP. Made me an appointment. And I was on Depo like within a week. She wasn't playing about that. She was like, you too young to have kids. You don't have a job. You can't, stay in my house with the kids. So we about to get you on this shot. And
let me just speak on that real fast because I think that is something that through our wombs, for real, that women have to heal from and stop putting that on their daughters. Like you as a woman put your young child and daughter on birth control before she could develop, and before she could start to explore what her womb could do, her vagina, understand her uterus health. She was having sex. Exploring and having sex are two different things. And before you could understand the health of your uterus and how it's work, it starts to be tampered with, like, and then you create or start to build issues with the womb so young with your children. Like, I feel like if my daughter start having sex young, I'm just going to educate her. I'm not going to be scared or put my fears on her. Oh, my bad, y'all. Put my fears on her because she can't afford a child or anything, because that's the idea of family anyway. Like, okay, if your child has a child, no one should be worried. Like, but I know that's not a reality for most people, but however, it's like, I think it's a weird trauma and a blockage that just it has to stop. But yeah, next question.
Was your mom a young mom?
Right. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Just a pattern. Her mother, I'm pretty sure she didn't know. Her mother didn't know, so they just passed it on down to me, and that's why I'm here to break this thing.
I know that's right.
Yeah. Okay. Do you feel like fucking around and being promiscuous affects the relationship you have with your vagina? Is it empowering to explore, or should it be scared? Should the vagina be scared?
Sacred.
Oh, my bad, y'all. Scared?
Peeing on the side. Typo.
I mean, it kind of makes sense, though. Should you be scared of doing that?
That's a good one.
So, I feel like... What was I going to say about this? I feel like... Okay, let me reread this so I can write it right.
Let's read it one more time.
Okay, yeah, because this is a long question. Do you feel like fucking around and being promiscuous affects the relationship you have with your vagina? Is it empowering to explore, or should it be sacred? Okay, so like saving yourself or someone, or like sleeping around with people. So I think it's okay to be promiscuous and sleep around with people as long as you, as long as they're good energy. Like, not just sleeping with whoever, whenever, because, but like making sure you actually have like a good like energetic connection with that person, and you're letting good energy in your life, because you're literally like opening yourself up to that person, and like your vagina is like taking on like that person's energy. Like, I feel like that's like an open like
portal.
Yeah, like you're literally like
soul
exchanging energy. Yes. Right. So I don't see a problem with like if you're not in a relationship, like go ahead, like sleep around, but like have a good connection with the person, like have a good vibe with them. Like, don't just like give yourself to whoever, because that's when I feel like I do feel like the vagina is sacred, and you should, but like, so make that decision and know yourself enough and get to know like that enough to be able to make a good decision about that. Does that make sense?
Yes. Now, I agree with that, but I also am at a point now where I feel like the vagina is a sacred place, and that's it. It's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. When I was younger, my dad, he always told me, the number one reason for sex is procreation. It's not pleasure. And as humans, we give into our bodies so much that we use sex as a pleasurable tool instead of, carrying out our legacy like we're supposed to. Yeah. So I just feel like now I'm at the point where I am mindfully practicing abstinence, and I feel like it's benefiting me to keep her to myself instead of, going around. And, I learned some things, when I was sleeping around, but I also feel like I'm learning way more about her when I play with her myself. So,
you feel like the connection has...
The relationship is way stronger. I feel like I feel like giving her away to people was kind of neglecting her. I feel like it was abusing her, So I take care of her. I know what she likes. I know what she needs, So, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what sorry. That's kind of what I meant by like getting to know her first, because I feel like then once you do that, like where you're at, you can like make a better decision on what you let in.
You're having sex with intent also. That's what I wanted to, I didn't want to cut you off, but I was like, yeah, if you're having sex with, if you want to, you know, make that exchange with someone, it's okay. Just do it mindfully, have intent with it. Know that you're going to be exchanging with them and know that, and just be okay with that exchange once it does happen, you know? So, yeah.
I have, okay, so fun facts about me is I kind of like was reborn sexually after I had my child. I'm not the type of person who equates. I don't love with my vagina, if that makes sense. I love with my heart, so I give you my vagina, if that makes sense. So that's always kind of how I've been. I had a late life hoe phase. I feel most people are hoes young in life, and then I had my hoe phase in my late 20s, and it was a hot mess. Like, but it was fun, and it was what I needed, because I never had that experience. I'm like a serial monogamist. Like, I'm like Kim K and Mariah Carey. Like, never got a boyfriend, always end up with a man. Like, I'm always in a relationship. Like, to this day, I really don't feel like I've ever really dated. You know what I mean? Like, I've always been in a relationship. And if I, you know, if we get there, and Laura's like, boring. And that's how
cough, cough, boring.
And that's how I used to. I also was a very late masturbator. So I had never masturbated until I was about, I had already had sex, but I had sex before I ever had masturbated. So I masturbated at about 23. And 23. And I was terrified of sex stores. Right? I was terrified of sex stores. So actually I was older than that. I might have been like 24, 25. Because I remember I broke my celibacy with a boy, and then I started masturbating because once it opened back up, I was like, oh my god, I need more penis, but he was gone, so it wasn't nothing I could do. But I ended up getting like a toothbrush from Dollar Tree.
A vibrating toothbrush?
A vibrating toothbrush.
Okay.
From Dollar Tree.
They how you live.
They about to be sold out.
Y'all got any more of those electric toothbrushes?
From Dollar Tree.
But I mean, I made like $60,000 at the time a year, so I didn't have to get the Dollar Tree one, but it was like low key. It was like what I could go in and buy, and no one would think nothing of it. So that's what I got, and then I got addicted to porn. I had never been on Pornhub before, nothing like that. I googled like free porn and it popped up. And literally, I used to be late to work, masturbating. Like, I was addicted. Like, I learned so much stuff.
Not late to work.
Not late to
like
work.
that job. Like,
what about on lunch break?
Yeah. Oh my god.
Not in our industry.
Not currently, but yeah, like back then, it was a deep, deep hole. And what did I do?
Is that why you was late today?
No. So I got scared because I was like, oh my god, this could be a problem. I paid for a monthly subscription to Pornhub to get the videos.
I can't.
Okay, so
that's how I knew it was bad. So now that after having a pregnancy, I bonded a lot with my womb. So I learned to kind of like separate the two. So I totally understand the separation and how people are able to be promiscuous. Because the pleasure of sex, if you value that more than you value the relationship, I totally get that. But for me, I just can't like sex enough with a person to give them the sex on GP or for the experience if I don't really love you, if I don't really feel connected to you, or if I don't really feel bonded to you. I'd rather just fuck myself than fuck you, because I feel like it's a prize. So if I give it to you, then how am I letting you assess you getting it because I want sex, but you ain't did nothing to get to earn it. You know what I mean?
What's
So that's
the exchange.
Exactly.
But see, that's the problem is people go out looking for that because they don't know how to give it to themselves.
Yes, and I've also
we're not taught how to. We're not taught about that.
Yeah, and it'd be like an emotional void sometimes.
Yeah.
So like usually, you know, obviously everyone like sometimes prefer physical pleasure to
with another person.
accommodate other things that they like.
It makes you feel validated.
Yes.
Because you can't validate if you can't validate yourself.
But then sometimes, you know, I feel like the reactions or the responses after those encounters will be your vagina talking to you, saying like, why would you just do that? Or I'm not happy. I don't like that. And most of the time, then people go through a whirlwind of this and this, and they start fighting themselves mentally, or they asking themselves questions, and they going back and forth with what they just did or what's going on. So then they try to brush that to the side and still be empowered by the decision that they made, but are still having in the back of their head that I didn't do something right. Like, something wasn't done right. And I often just feel like that's just your vagina, like, whispering to you, like, no to that person. Thank you.
And I think I know a lot. I worked with young girls for a long time. And a lot of their issues with relationships, especially ended relationships and things, would be like, oh, but he was just fucking on me, and now he fucking on her, because they put so much value in that exchange, and that person did not value the exchange the same way. So now you feel used, and now you feel some type of way, but that's the only value that you think, you know, you have. So you're like, you know what I'm saying, like, loving with your vagina, you know. And that's why I was like, it's just such a,
holding is more value.
I hate that. I hate to use the term toxic, but it's just it's such a toxic way to use your cooch. Like, at the end of the day, billion people on the earth, we're split. Half of us got cooches. Like, a man and a cooch ain't gonna never be like, he gonna find a cooch. Like, at the end of the day, it's about the connection. You know what I mean? And I feel like I know so many young girls who band-aid other pains through giving sex to a boy because that's what they want. So they try to build the love language and the foundation there, but it don't last because he can get that anywhere.
Now, I want to add on to that and say something that my dad also told me, and I'm listening to him now, you know, 10 years later.
Oh, okay.
but he told me that, and this is why females go so crazy when a man gives that good dick to another lady, is because a lot of men express their emotions through sex. So we get, you know, we feel that expression and that exchange throughout sex, and we be like, damn, how you just was giving that to me and now you giving it to somebody else. And that's why men are, you know, not to even go there, I'm gonna just end it here because, you know, we're talking about vaginal health right now, but that's also why men, you know, need to educate themselves on their sexual exchange throughout, you know, intercourse.
Yes.
So
yes, I agree. What do you feel, Amber? Do you think it's sacred, or, like, you know, it's empowered to explore?
To be honest, I probably have, like, the most unhealthy, like, toxic, like, just a horrible spiritual connection with my vagina. Like, I was not taught about anything growing up. Like, I wasn't taught about anything at all. And unfortunately, like, I was so depressed in high school and I was suicidal, and I literally was like, I just don't want to die a virgin. Like, that was my losing my virginity experience. Like, I literally had this just, like, shameful and embarrassing and uncomfortable position, like, my whole life, pretty much. And I resonated with Nova when she said, like, after having my daughter, everything changed. And I guess, like, I saw things that were beyond physical happening when I started taking more control and putting more power. I still don't like the exploring thing. I don't know. We might have to do a follow-up on that, because I don't know. Whatever exploring I thought I did, I don't know. Y'all, okay, so I always wanted to get a vibrator, and I have this vibrator, but my friend gave it to me. She's like, I only used it one time, but I just don't think I can use it. So maybe y'all, I was trying to think of ways, like, how can I sanitize this? But I'm like, I just think, like, figuratively speaking, I don't think I could do it. I love you, but, no. I still have it. If one of y'all want to sanitize and try.
They have $7 ones at the toy store. And I feel I'm brave now. I'll go in and buy you
and get you.
Do y'all feel like they about to be set up? Go be like, another lady was just here. She just bought all 30 of them. I was confused. But no. But maybe if I don't. I see like the benefits, but I don't know if it's necessary. Like, do y'all feel like masturbation is necessary? Because
masturbation is education.
Absolutely.
I feel like, what if you feel like you don't need it? What if the man teaches you everything that you're looking for?
He can't.
Okay, question. Wait. Before anything else, how many times have y'all felt like y'all have orgasmed your whole life?
I've never orgasmed with a man, only with myself.
What?
And that's that. Sorry, fellas. But
she was faking.
I was.
And I used dollar store toothbrushes.
Has anybody with a man? How many times?
Yeah.
Twice. Maybe 3 times.
Same.
Mm-hmm.
That's it?
And one
But most
session?
of it was coming from within my own, like, from me. Like, me breathing and taking myself past the physical sensation to, like,
Release.
Like, so then it would be like, oh, okay, here we go. Like,
I get that. I can definitely make myself come during sex if I want to. With the guy.
It should not be like this.
Yeah. Do y'all feel like coming and
I was
orgasm?
about to say, we're talking about orgasm.
No, I orgasm.
Yeah.
But I think everybody orgasm's different. And that's why the exploration part is important. Because you have to know how you orgasm. I learned so much. That's why I used to be late to work. Because every time I would do it, something else would happen. So I'm a deep penetration orgasmer. So like if you got a little winky, I'm just faking. But because I need that pressure, because that's like a G-spot orgasmer. So that's one way. But then I learned if I had enough clitoral stimulation, then I can waterfall and do all sorts of different things. And yeah, I learned all that. Then I learned so that's what I learned with having the comparison.
But is that orgasm mean, or are you?
Because it'll get like you come and then it's like, and then it builds and then it's
so
like,
there's 3 different types
of
like orgasms.
I was going to say, break it down.
Clitoral, G-spot, and cervical orgasm.
Yes.
So that the cervical is like the hardest to reach. Like usually, like during sex, like you can clitoral and then G-spot and then get to cervical. That's what I've noticed, and I've experienced all 3.
Yeah,
during sex.
And she lives to tell.
And that's why I consider the cervical the part where you
cervical is super hard. So it literally it's like it's energy in here. It's from here going to like your crown chakra.
Yeah, like it's like and you can feel it. It's like contractions. Like it's like, and then
it's like full body.
Messy.
It's like.
And that's when you fall out. And you know if you had it because you fucking die after. Like,
to get there. To get there, though, it's not easy. It's not even... That's why it's so hard for us as when... Like, I'm sure a lot of men out there think that we, like, orgasm every time we have sex because so many women fake it. And, like, this right here was just, like...
Confirmation.
What, you said, like, 3 times in your whole life? 3, you said never.
3 out of how many?
3 too.
Out of how many sexual encounters?
I'm a late sexer, so I started.
It don't matter. You can still like it's 365 days in a year. So how many times have you had sex in your life? Just do some math.
We ain't going there. Oh.
No. Not partners. Not partners. Just like think.
I've been in a relationship.
My hair stress.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe you've had sex 1,200 times.
What?
Maybe.
What? Just throwing the number out.
Do that math.
Just and she's in a relationship. So
5
days in a year.
That's a lot of fucking.
I mean, it sounds like it.
No, but I start having sex late. So having sex that much, that's like. Well, how would
I
like 1,000 times a year?
No, I didn't say 1,000 times a year. I said in your life.
Right, but if I just start having sex 5 years ago.
Right, and it's 365 days in a year. So right there, that's 1,200 days. So I was giving you the benefit of the doubt that you didn't fuck every day. So
I got you.
So 1,000 times. No,
500 times.
500 times, and 3 out of 500 times. That ratio. You see what I'm saying? Like that ratio
it's
right
completely
there.
irrational.
It's like. What
makes no sense.
It makes no sense.
And doesn't the guy come like mostly every time?
Every time.
But they don't orgasm.
Yes.
Every man don't orgasm. Okay.
Yes.
So true.
It's really
Let's get into
it's
it.
really about your womb and the health of your vagina and where you are at in that spiritual connection
so you can pull
to
it.
have that man orgasm.
So you're saying that the orgasm is energy.
Yes.
Ooh, I love that.
Yes, it is.
It is.
And so that's why you don't come with everybody.
A lot of people don't realize that too.
I mean, you don't orgasm with everybody. Because I don't know, if you watch porn, you will see a lot of times, like, it'll be men do, and he'll nut. And then...
So that's why it's so hard.
And then he'll keep going.
Women,
because he didn't orgasm.
That's why it's so hard for women, for us to actually have that orgasm too, because you need to feel completely comfortable with the person you're with. Yeah. You need to have the complete energetic connection and completely let go and be open.
And also feeling comfortable to talk with them about what's working and what's not. Because I'm sorry, but can I just make a announcement that nobody wants their clip being like used like sandpaper,
like a DJ.
Like I don't know anybody who likes that at all. Just saying.
Yeah,
and we also, like, as women, need to speak up.
Yeah,
like I know
that's the issue.
So
many women don't.
Because
I dated a guy that I know he's slept around, like this one guy, and it was just like, how with all the women you slept with, you not know what you're doing right now? Because nobody said anything.
And that's the issue.
Women like,
help other women.
This?
When do you say something?
Yes.
When do you say something?
Right away. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I didn't know that was our phone.
So, when do y'all think is the best time to say something?
Yeah, all the time, whenever,
even in the middle.
Yes.
Like, y'all stop right now.
Yes.
I
Absolutely.
feel like so many women are nervous to like ruin the mood, but babe, love, my sweetie, you are the mood. That's it. Like, if you don't come into this whole interaction understanding that you have the Yoniverse, you have the energy, you are bringing it, right? All he's doing is putting it in your world. It's all about you and your experience right now.
If you don't like it, you don't like it. So in the comments, drop, do you stop or do you just let it ride? So if you let it ride, just put a thumbs up. If you stop it, give the palm, so we can just know. And why? Tell it if you feel comfortable. Let us know why. Why don't women stop bad sex? And men, why do y'all think y'all can fuck everybody the same way?
Yeah, I did that too.
Personally, I think the reason that I let a lot of it go on is because I didn't want to ruin his pride. You know, I kind of wanted, and lately I think that I've come to the conclusion that I have an issue with passing out that accountability to men because I feel like it hurts them.
Yeah,
you know,
I get it.
And you know what hurt me is having a baby with a dude with weak sex, or marrying a man with weak sex, or getting proposed to by a man with weak sex because I didn't have enough sense to tell him that it was weak, and now I'm stuck because he think I love it, and I'm done with it.
Yeah, that's real.
And then it's like in the back of your mind, you just waiting to meet a better man so you can trade up.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
So do y'all practice Tantra when you're like having your sexual experiences? Like, do you start your foreplay off with like breath and breathing and connecting?
I will next time I do it.
Sometimes.
I think it
depends.
I think it changed the experience.
In doing it.
Yeah.
I haven't.
I have, and it's a game changer. And honestly, like once when you start breathing into each other, like literally swallowing the other person's breath, not even kissing, but right, and then you guys start breathing in sync, you will naturally start to feel this exploration or like this incline of the sexual energy bringing itself forth. Like, you know how sometimes we all have to build up the idea of sex to have sex with this person? Like, be like, oh, you're turning me on, oh, you're sexy, or let me get drunk, or let me get high so I could get turned on. But the breath work and the eye contact and just breathing and just exploring each other before you actually get to the physical part changes what sex is.
So this is like the first thing you do, or can it be
while it's happening?
It could be while it's happening.
It's honestly, I've come off it being the only thing. Like I've not even gotten penetrated, and just the connection. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's a height that a lot of people, it's a level of intimacy that a lot of women don't get to entertain because of the way we handle our vaginas. And that is what I feel like needs to change.
You know what? I'm over here thinking, and I feel like the reason that we have, well, I don't want to speak for everybody, but I feel like one of the reasons that we possibly have become so afraid, not even afraid, I don't know the right word, but the reason that we don't speak about what our vagina is like is because men they regulate women's health. Like, where did that come from? When did that happen?
Right.
Like,
when did you become a gynecologist?
When did you get here?
Right.
What do you know?
So, and that's why I used to like not listen to my dad when he used to tell me stuff like, "What do you know?" You know. But I mean, he had some sense. So.
Yeah. Shout out to Dad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dad's with the game.
So I'm about to ask my question. For that question, I guess I never answered. For me, the it's sacred. But that's just because of my whole experience with sex anyway. It just took me a long time because I felt like no one was ever worthy enough. And plus, having people around you, your friends and stuff, who's already having sex, and you see what's going on.
Working for them.
I'm like, I could wait. So I waited till I was like an adult to have sex because I'm just like, no one deserves this. So
yeah, I took that course with liquor, but not with penis. I was a late drinker, but I was
All right, so I love this question. Do you think our vagina health correlates to the man we attract and determine our value to a man? Want me to ask this again?
Yeah, read it again.
I heard you. It's marinating.
All right, here we go.
in the back.
Do you think our vagina health correlates to the men we attract and determine our value to a man? So we are talking about our
Unfortunately,
vagina health.
sorry, it's your question.
Oh, I'm asking this. I guess I could answer, but I would rather wait.
Go, Les.
I want to hear other people.
Les was like, immediately, she was triggered.
And I say unfortunately because I do feel like it's unfortunate that our vaginas determine who and what we are to other people. I hate that. I really do. But unfortunately, it does determine your what was the word?
Value?
Your value, yeah.
The vagina's value or
no,
my
your value.
Your value. I mean, because we can't. Men, they are. What man thinks that a woman with terrible vaginal health is? Why would they think she take care of herself?
Do y'all remember that episode of what's it? Broken Pussy?
I love that. Broken Pussy.
But that's a real thing. And when Issa did that to her, I totally got it. And that, I feel like that question is directly correlated to that episode.
Broken
like,
pussy.
You think you are that. And that's how you carry yourself, like you are that. But you really fucked up. And you attract these toxic ass men.
Because of your pussy.
And because and then you love through your pussy. And so, because that's how you connect with these dudes and they keep flinging you, knocking you off and throwing you to the side, you got a broken pussy. You know what I mean? Like, I totally get that. I know so many damaged females who solely operate through their vagina. Like, you want to fuck your way to the top.
Yeah.
You want to fuck your way to a ring. You want to find... Don't get me wrong. Don't no man want to marry no slouch with no good sex. But in a survey I just read, it was on... I'm gonna put it on the page. It was sex was like the least thing. They cared more about if you had a job or children or tumultuous relationships, if you had security, they cared more about those things than if your sex were good. Most men cared more about if you had your own life established rather than if you had good vagina. So that respect right there, because sex only gets you so far, because like I said, they can get the sex from anywhere. You know what I mean? So I think that whole, your frequency of your vagina definitely does attract certain things, because when you feeling yourself and you truly feel sexy in the inside, you walk different, you dress different. You know what I mean? Like, as a 31-year-old, I'm just now learning how to elude sex appeal without showing skin.
Yes.
I'm learning to connect with my eyes and not with my ass pose. You know what I mean? And I'm just now really wrapping my head around those types of things because I want to be received different, because I date an older man and he doesn't necessarily respond to those types of things. He's been looking at hot chicks since the 80s, since the early 80s. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that doesn't make him excited. You know what I mean? He's more like that's a long dress. I wonder what's under that dress. And that, whereas most of us are like, I'm gonna wear the short dress to the club. You know what I mean? So I definitely think that your relationship with yourself, your heart chakra and your root chakra are so intertwined as women because we absorb trauma through birth. You already got all your mama and grandmama and grandmammy mama's problems when you come through. So you already have that. And most people, and I know like in my personal family and society, they didn't do much to fix it for us. They put us on birth control. They told us not to have kids. They didn't support us when we had children. They didn't teach us the foundations of family and things like that. So you already got that going on. Then social media and surgery and body shaming and coochie lip shaming and all the different shaming that we do to each other as women.
So much.
And then all the different things that men put on us, expectations, because they don't know what the fuck is going on. So then now you're dressed up and your lip gloss and your Fashion Nova and you're broken here and you literally don't think you have anything else but this. So yeah, it's a broken pussy. And yes, you're going to attract shitty men sometimes. Every now and then you'll get a man that sees you for really who you are, and they help evolve you and bring out a better you. But there are very few far in between men out here like that are going to take the time to kind of develop a woman. There are a billion women out here that will help a man develop a man. They'll clean Lil Ray Ray up. They'll teach Lil Ray Ray how to dress.
I love Ray Ray.
They'll help Lil Ray Ray. They take Lil Ray Ray to the clinic, get him his first little check, his first little I got tested sticker.
Give him his first smoothie.
All of that. All of that. There's women who will do that for men, but there's not a lot of men that will do that for women. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's up to us to create platforms like this to talk about these type of things because it's not normal. It's not normal. And yes, broken pussy does attract broken niggas. Trust me. I know.
I agree.
Can I add one more thing? A little bit from the question, but also what shouldn't be normal is like spitting on it or like the licking of the hand and like
spit starting.
Like
if it ain't wet, they want to spit started. Spit started.
I just want to make an announcement that isn't necessary.
To make that noise.
Some people like it.
I like the sound like that. Like it's the hype. It's like, did you just spit on my? Like
it's something about it.
Don't need it.
It don't need it, but it do something.
If you want it. Okay, ask first. Dang.
I will definitely ask. I prefer you spit in my mouth than on my vagina.
I like both.
I was gonna say not some. I don't think I ever really been spit on there, but like when they spit in your booty,
what?
That too,
baby. Like don't do no nasty shit like
that's the part they gonna post. We gonna crop that part out.
Like that spit in her ass, huh?
I just like nasty shit. Like it's the hype of knowing you doing some nasty shit. It's like I don't need it. I ain't asked for it, but you just did it, and I'm
whoa,
like,
for real, they do.
Yeah, it's like it takes you places. It's like you is nasty,
spontaneous, nasty gestures.
Yes, thank you.
I'd be like, wow, you in your bag, okay.
Talk your shit.
No, but with the whole vagina health thing, I remember when I started doing yoni steams, and I feel like my perception of men alone changed. Also, my standards and my ideas about what a man should be to even enter this changed a lot. Like, I started paying attention to his diet. I'm like, because at first I didn't care. I thought, long as I'm good, it is what it is. But then I'm like, but every time we do something, I don't feel like myself anymore. And
that pH balance.
So like if you always are getting BV and irritation.
Wait, what is BV for
bacterial vaginosis? It's gives you the symptoms of like a STD, but it's nothing there to give you. It's just a pH imbalance. So they call it bacterial vaginosis, like a case of bacteria in the vagina, but it's not classified as chlamydia or gonorrhea or the clap. But it throws your pH off, and a lot of men in their semen and their fluids and their diet can give you BV. So they say, an old tale is that you can tell if your man's cheating if you have raw sex with your man regularly, and then you have raw sex and you have a reaction that he has stepped out because he has absorbed someone else's pH and he's brought it back to you, and your body's like, I know that dick, that ain't it. Yep. What is this? It's tainted, and that's supposed to be your telltale that, oh, baby is doing has some extracurricular activities. But BV and those type of things, like it's like if you're can I pick up your juice?
Oh yeah.
This is Restore. If you're not familiar with Restore, this is about what, like $11?
I don't know.
8 or 9. It's about $10 on average. $10
Deliciousness.
for a green juice. So she's drinking
good.
a $10 green juice. Why does she want to fuck McDonald's dollar menu dick?
I promise you,
nobody wants McDonald's dick.
It won't happen.
McDonald's dollar menu dick.
or
I just had to
oily,
repeat that.
oily penis.
Unmanscaped.
You know, that's all like fried,
all of those
oily
types
food.
of things. Like, why would they want to? Like, if a girl is in the gym and it's like, well, why would she want to fuck with you and you're 6 months pregnant? Like, you got that hard, I drink
The alcohol,
Casamigos and eat Chipotle every day stomach. Like, that's not attractive. But those ladies, those types of signs, like if that's what you eat too, then y'all deserve each other. But
yeah, because people think the belly, they think it's attractive. But I also be feeling like sometimes it's just a disconnect with your vagina. So you are settling for what you believe is a thing because
they think that belly. Like, I will tell you, the only thing a big belly is good
body
for
shaming or
is to
anything.
rub your. If you ride a big boy and he got that belly, his stomach will kind of stimulate. And that's all it does.
Interesting.
You ain't got to do nothing else. Just rub on it.
Belly. That's it. And that's why I think if they game is weak, that's why the women don't mind messing with them, because they know that if they just take control, then they're definitely going to get.
I mean, but they say like the big belly
because
means money. Like, you know, you got
Because you eat good.
No,
you're eating trash.
It means a belly.
you eating.
Nah, it don't. Because honestly, anybody could tell you that it costs money to be healthy. It costs money to juice. It costs money to eat clean. It's a very expensive lifestyle, and you know what actually makes it bad. Like, I'm not one to say, especially as a trainer, that like being vegan is expensive or being that. No, it's not. But what I will tell you is that you go through way more food because you burn it off more. So if you're high active, like for me, I can eat a bag and a half of spinach a day. So if I'm buying organic spinach, that's like $4 a pop, and I'm eating that a day. You know what I mean? So I'm spending $25 on lettuce alone in a week. That's unheard of.
Yeah.
And granted, even if I'm not buying meat, if you're buying organic, if you're buying small grown, if you're buying ethically sourced foods and things like that, especially if you're a meat eater and you're buying the conscious meat, not like Beyond the Meat, I'm talking about like a farm, like Amish meat and things like that. Like, halal that stuff's meat. Not halal. It's not cheap. So it's very expensive. Like, I don't care if you can go out to like Ruth Chris and buy like a $60 steak or something like that, because you don't know where that steak came from. Like, they think that's eating good. It's
so sexy when you see a man eating healthy.
It is.
It's just
very
it's
attractive.
such a turn on. You want to taste. You want to know what he tastes like, because they actually taste different.
And it's no going back.
At all.
It's no going
a
back.
difference.
Yep, that vegan.
I'd be like, look at.
That
Okay,
vegan
you
meat
healthy.
smack.
Okay.
Vegan meat.
Vegan meat. That's the only vegan mystery
Boy,
meat I
shake that
want.
vegan meat. That vegan meat. Shake that vegan meat.
Period.
But yeah. So what's the question? You said you got a good one.
Yeah, did anybody else pick? Because I wasn't ready to tell my answer yet.
Oh.
It's deep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, think about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Second round.
Have you experienced sexual evolution through consciousness? I'm not sure I understand the question.
So more so, like, have your sexuality evolved with your own awareness? Or
Absolutely.
Your consciousness.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yes.
How so? I don't know. Dig deeper.
I mean, it's kind of like what I was talking about before. How once I got to know myself and know my vagina, it was easier for me to pick better partners or have orgasms or just feel more comfortable with myself. But because sex itself is like a mind and energy experience. Like, it's not just our parts here just like doing something and like stimulating it. So I feel like you have to develop some sort of consciousness to actually have like good sex. Like, or else you're just like doing the action.
Yeah.
So like the more I grow as a person, I feel like the better sex I have.
Yes, I agree.
Can I and also wanted to comment on that spiritual connection, just how she's saying you can tell if someone's cheating physically. I feel like the same way spiritually. You're like, wow, this just doesn't feel the same. Like your intuition starts to break in. Like, wow, spiritually, I just really used to feel like these sensations, and like I can literally feel it, and like something not right, something got interrupted.
Like, do you ever have sex and you get distracted and like there's not really much going on, and then you like focus back in, and then it's just like brings like all the feeling and energy back?
Yeah.
Like, it's literally all like your conscious like awareness of like your body and what's going on, and the connection with the other person, and the connection with yourself. And that's why it's crazy too, like how people love like drunk sex and stuff, which I do like sometimes too, obviously. But then like, I don't know, it's just nice that you're like shutting that off though, and you don't get to feel everything. You're blocking that. So I don't know where I was going with that, but
I know for me, like my sexuality, or just sex in general, definitely evolved because I start manifesting with like my vagina and sex and all types of stuff. I start realizing that, oh, my womb and my yoni does way more than what this physical realm has told us it's here for. Like, obviously it's a portal of birth, therefore you could birth other things as well.
Have y'all ever heard of the practice? Sorry, not to cut you off.
No,
don't forget where you're at. But it's an act of abstinence, manifestation abstinence, where you refrain from exchanging physical energies with people to build up the power in your.
I heard of that.
In your thing. So it was like a really weird thing. Like, everybody knows I'm in a long distance relationship, and I'm so weird about when I'll go see my dude, and people are like, go see the man, go. He'd be like, man, come see me. I'm like, no. And it's like, a lot of times it's because I'm not to a point where I'm ready to have those type of exchanges and releases, because I'm always working on something different with my businesses and things like that. So when I say like temple and aura, like, yeah, that's my man, but there's still a barrier, not a barrier, but I sometimes still have to put that wall up when I'm manifesting for myself, because I understand, like my power. And sometimes, like men, good men can be a good woman's weakness. You know what I mean? So, granted, I can manifest it all myself and get it, and I feel empowered, and then I feel like I've practiced the act, and I can do it over and over, and I can do it bigger and better. Or I can go and put some W.A.P on him and have him potentially fund whatever it is I'm manifesting, or help or aid in either way. You see, and so many women, and this is the toxic thing, and this is what's got us in this sticky city girl place with men. of us not understanding that it really is the power, whether you hold it or give it up.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So you can get what you want, either way, but it takes honestly, finessing a man is actually harder than just manifesting.
It takes a lot more energy.
Yeah. It takes way more energy to finesse a man than it does to manifest through your womb. Mm-hmm. It does.
Yeah.
Like, and then they say, like, well, like, people out there, it's like, what does this look like? How do I do this? Like, it's concentrating. It's connecting with yourself. It's listening to songs. It's different stretches. It's different movements. It's different acts. It's different foods. Things that you connect with. Things that make you, if every time you eat strawberries and mangoes, you feel sexy and sensual and power, like it's tapping into that feminine energy and really like drawing all of that so that you can be the fruitful being that you are. You know what I mean? And so much of our power actually comes from ourselves. It does not come from sharing it. You know what I mean? You can still get a lot from sharing it, but you can get equal. And
I'm with like intention.
Yeah, with intention,
and consciousness, and awareness.
Absolutely.
Some people be like, my pussy power, but you don't have no idea of what power it actually is.
The same girls yelling pussy is power be crying every night.
Right. So that's
crying.
And can I just want to share, I haven't tried it yet, but I just found out about this exercise when y'all are talking about like getting that power. Her name on Instagram is Nails Botanica, and she was talking about how there's literally an exercise where you do like a Kegel and you like rising it up, and then you build more up, rise it up, and you squeeze and you build more up and rise it up.
I pride myself on, I don't take painkillers, I don't take medicine, I don't do none of that whenever I'm in pain, because I pride myself on turning physical pain into sexual pleasure.
Yeah.
When I'm getting tattoos, I breathe, and it rises up. And I squeeze and I breathe and so I know that very well.
I just wanted to drop one of the sources where I saw one of these things. If you go on YouTube, the girl, she's such a cute girl. She has the best voice. Woman Love Power is the name of the page. And she talks a lot about all things women. Like literally anything you can think of at this point, she has touched on for at least 10 minutes. And she did a spiel on the pussy power manifestation, the solo version. And it was really it gave me a different perspective because I knew it from one way from a book we already like the Sacred Woman book, but I knew it from that version, but she gave me a different insight. So if you want to check that out, that's definitely a little trusted source. She's a very articulate young lady.
Yeah, and also with the manifesting with sex, especially with a partner you can trust energetically, just simple like wordplay, like while you're having sex and you say money and then, he say money and y'all just keep saying money or abundance and love and success and stuff like that.
Or baby.
But right.
Don't say I want to have your baby because you might have a baby.
The act of sex is for creation. So the energy and the power is right there. Right.
Procreation.
So therefore you can create anything in those acts. You just got to make sure that you have someone who's also aware of what's going on as well, because early on with my guy, we would do this and he'll come out the sex and he like, dang, I just got $500. I don't know what just happened. I'm saying like, shit, where my shit at? Like, but because he wasn't intentionally being, present with what was going on, a lot of my energy was benefiting him, opposed to us having a very fruitful exchange together and being abundant with this creation.
But
that
if it was your idea, you get half. If you need a lawyer, call me. I'll help you get your half.
Do y'all have any more like books or resources, YouTube channels?
I brought 2 books.
Let us see.
Yeah, let's see.
I brought a book. I like to call it a beginner book. I mean, some people may not think of it as one, but to me it is.
It was definitely my beginning book.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a good little like book to start off with. Some of the stuff though, to me, unfortunately, I feel is a little bit outdated. But however, you know, the sacred woman can never go out of style, and I feel like, you know, it's important to make sure that you hold yourself.
Wait, sacred woman by who?
Queen
of Fu.
Yeah.
Is it Fu or Fu?
I don't want to mess up her name, so y'all could have at it.
AFUA.
Mm-hmm. But if you're not familiar with her, she's the woman who you may see the very I don't want to call her Afrocentric because I don't really know what she is, but she's working with Lauren London. She's very close to Lauren London. She does have an Instagram, but she works with a lot of women as they're going through different things, especially the woke women.
I wonder if she was introduced to her through Nip, because I actually started reading that book because it was on his list of books that he read.
Yeah, I think made Lauren, not made, I don't want to say it like that, but I think that he suggested it to Lauren, and I think that Lauren had to go through some different things to even get along with Nip, if that makes sense. And so I think that's how they were connected. And then of course after his death, I know that she's been working with her. Okay. And just kind of, you know, just being that feminine power figure for her, like helping her out. So.
And here's the second book, African Holistic Health. No matter what's your nationality, like, this book is beautiful, and it actually breaks down like different nationalities, but it talks about sexual personality types. And it just breaks down a lot of stuff, and then it kind of shows you, you know, how to live a more healthier lifestyle holistically. But when a lot of people just think of holistic as just like what you eat, but it's actually like the whole, from like your mental, physical, spiritual, emotional plane, all of that needs to be healed and whole and healthy, maintained and well, and then you are living a holistic life. So that book breaks it all down. It also talks about, it's another book that this author wrote that breaks down sexual organs, and if the penis is tilted this way and this way, that means they're having issues with their kidneys. Or
is that what a hook means?
No, don't call me on that. I'm just saying, like, that's what they or they even talk about your body posture, or like the way you stand.
Almost done.
Yeah, your body posture or the way you stand can affect your experiences sexually and stuff like that. So those are good books, and the author is Layla O. Africa.
I've had this book sitting in my cart for months too. So now I'm gonna get it.
You playing? Look, it breaks down the hair, the hands. Wow. It even tell you like what microwave does and the biological effects of the exposure. Really? And it breaks down Layla O.
Africa.
Yeah, and then, you know, it just talks about when you are having sexual difficulties and stuff, it shows you where those deficiencies are coming with your minerals and vitamins and stuff like that. And I'm just so big on vitamins and minerals and stuff like that. I love the herbs. Like, that's number one for me. Before food, I'm with the herbs. Like
the botanical gifts.
Right.
Shameless plug.
This book. Wow.
Yeah.
This looks like it has a little bit of everything.
We might need to come out with our own reading list.
And then we definitely should drop a reading list. And then ladies, if you're
just like skimming through
exactly, it's amazing.
Another one that I actually just bought it is was highly referred to from me, but it just took me a while to kind of get there. But Pussy Prayers. What is it? I'm really excited to go and read it. By Black Girl Bliss. So from what I gather, it's just a lot of talk about connection, you know, like body connection and spiritual connection. So if I had to sum it up, that's what I'm expecting to take from it, just that in a million different ways. And also Queen, however you say it, she wrote a book, Heal Thyself. So that was my beginner book. Before I got Sacred Woman, I got Heal Thyself.
Louise Hay?
No, by the same lady. She got 2 books. But yeah, that was the first one that I started with, and it was basically just kind of like mentally setting the tone of being a self-healer through, diet and just connection and meditation and things like that. So I was just telling them that the Sacred Woman book is very heavy for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah,
after like 2 or 3 days, I was like, and I told someone not too long ago, I said, this is honestly something that I would need to go on a retreat to do.
Absolutely.
Because to do it in the midst of my everyday life,
it's impossible.
I felt like I just couldn't. And it's not a me thing because I'm no quitter, but it's just like intense. It can get intense. And I don't know if that's what you meant by the dated, but yeah, I was like, how, Sway? Like, how can I really do this? You would have to do a lot of watered down versions of a lot of things that mapped out. So if you were to skim the book, I don't want you to be intimidated. Like, we are aware that is like that. But like I said, I'm just warning you.
It is when you
it's
first
heavy.
Look at it.
Yeah. So it's like, if you're already with the shits and you're ready to turn it up, it's a beginning book. But if you're just like, what are y'all talking about? You may want to
start with Heal Thyself.
Easy way.
Yeah. That's like a 0 to 100.
So are you?
Oh,
you ready for your question?
No, because I don't want to lie, but I'm not ready to discuss this yet. So I wanted to ask if I could, swap it out.
Oh,
That's okay. It's a safe space.
Are we able to read it at least?
Yeah, of course.
We don't have to explore or answer it. You could pick another one, but I'm curious what the question was.
Yeah, me too.
You can read it.
Okay. Read it.
What are traumas you have experienced through your womb that is affecting your perception of the world?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a think piece.
It's a real.
It is a think piece, and I don't think anyone should answer it today. I think everyone should think, and if
we'll leave that one.
listeners, if
maybe
you want
we can put it on the YouTube comments.
I was gonna say, if you want to DM us one of your traumas and how it changes you in the world, and we can maybe put it in the story and get some insight on it or something like that. That could be fun.
So
totally anonymous.
We could save this for the Instagram.
You will post it
Follow
later.
us at the Venus Exchange on IG, and we'll explore this.
And make sure you guys turn on your post notifications so you can see when we post new things and you can keep up with us. So.
Yeah, sure too. Yes, and this gonna be the last question.
Okay. All right. Well, it's perfect because we're going to end exactly where we started.
Oh, love it. Okay.
Tying it back in. So, do you believe that wombs are portals? Absolutely. Absolutely, positively, 100%. I do. And in spirit of today, I was actually thinking about a question that Justin had asked us prior when he said, would you rather, it was one of those would you rather questions. Would you rather experience the beginning of the world or the end? And I chose the end because I feel like we experience the beginning of the world when we give birth. I feel like the book, the Sacred Woman book, it actually opened me up to realizing that our vaginas is actually our first energy center. That's our first chakra. Yeah. That's where life comes from. That's where everything comes from. And because I am a reflection of Mother Nature, I am Mother Nature. She produces life. She produces beings. And so do I. So I absolutely do feel like my womb is a portal. 100%. Yes.
I want to branch off. So, with you saying you're a reflection of Mother Earth, I also believe I'm a reflection of Mother Earth. I love my mama. And, how she create life, she also kills it as well. And the importance of sometimes understanding that our womb is a portal is that anything that comes to it, we also have the ability to damage it as well. So we play an effect in what's going on in these man to women relationships sometimes because of what we are doing to this portal and what is going on. So it's so important to not only make sure that you are treating her like the sacred beautiful thing she is, but to also make sure that you are understanding the power that lies within you.
Yes.
So but yeah, I do agree, I do believe our wombs are portals. And obviously, especially being pregnant for, the ones who have had children, I was so freaked out by what exactly I was doing. I'm like, wait, animals hold babies too? I'm holding a baby. I'm creating life. What is going on? I felt like an alien. Like, I felt just so weird. Then once I started feeling the kicks, I'm like, what is going on? Like, I was just like so like amazed by the whole process that I start to empower myself. Like, I'm a woman. Like, damn, this is what I was made to do. Like, I can't believe I even chose to do it because I was terrified of it. But yeah, so I'm just grateful.
I feel the same way. Like, absolutely, it's a portal, and I think on a deeper level, we hold so much experience in our womb, like I said, from absorbing things from our mother and that transfer of coming. So I think that it's such a power source, and it has the ability to create so much change. You gotta think, everyone who's in the world right now came through one. And they got to the earth, and they were nurtured, and they grew up to be, and you know, we have some people who like invented the lights and the cars, and you know what I mean? And just think that those people who did all these great things came through, and then you think of, you know, the darker side of that we have mass murderers and Columbine kids, and you know, and that just goes to show you that the womb itself is just what it is.
Yeah,
things are gonna come through it. You know what I mean? And we, as the moms we are here, at least have a sit here and we think of all those good things. So we're thinking of those little faces that we have at home, you know, and the little faces that we want to create. And we're thinking of all that, you know, like all that good. But like a womb is absolutely a powerful portal, not just a portal, a very powerful portal, because we have the ability to birth things that can go out and make change.
Yeah.
And you know, like they say, children are the future. They don't say that for a reason, because we need those children to keep having children. To, you know what I mean? So I know for me personally, I never wanted one kid, but once I had one kid, I was like, I want more kids. And then I even said, like, I don't even want to take care of so many kids on my own, because I think, well, after 4 you can't even write them off on taxes. So yeah, definitely not going above that. But I said that I would before I turned like 40, if I knew people who could not have children, who could not bear their own children, could not afford a surrogate, I would like to portal for it. So my friend was like, you want a surrogate? I said, no, I don't want to be a surrogate, because I don't want to be paid and taken care of or anything like that. Like, I would just do it just on the GP that there's a mother out here that cannot port. You know what I mean? And just to assist them in being able to nurture, because your inability to port does not mean that you cannot nurture. You know what I mean? And I think that every woman has that in us, but for whatever reason, it may not be meant for us to bear, you know, the children in the process of porting. And that could be some old stuff if we want to go deep. Yeah. That could be some old broken stuff from 3 lives, you know, 2-3 lives back. You don't know that. Karma, all sorts of karmic cycles that you could just be the one carrying out. You know what I mean? So, and I understand that. And now that I understand that, it's like, you know, I would never want a person to live through the life without the experience. So if I ever came across an opportunity, I would totally be down with it, because I'm a portal. Like, now that I know it worked, and I had like a great pregnancy, and not to say everyone was, whatever it is, it's just that power. Like, I was so unappreciative of it prior to having a kid. I was like, ain't nothing coming out of here. Like, period. Not even a period. Like, I didn't want nothing coming out.
We're literally the only connection, like, that brings the spirit world, like, into body, like, into the earth.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's dope.
I love that you said that. That was beautiful. Because when you say it, you said it so simple, but when you put it in perspective, just listen. Like, just
can you repeat it?
That idea.
Yeah, that we are literally the connection that's bringing spirit world, like, to this earth. Like, bringing realm the spirit to this body.
So don't be letting people tarnish you. You better know your power.
Yeah. Speak up about what you like.
Right, exactly.
Portal or no?
I hope we can. Oh, portal or no? Me?
The question.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I feel like the child is enough proof. You
Right.
know, it really is. Not even just a specific child, just the ability to be able to, for a child to start with an idea or a thought or a hug or a kiss, you know, and then it to turn into a whole human being. Like, you create something in there that has emotions, that has fingernails, you know, that is going to make mistakes.
Right.
Yeah, so, and with everything we were talking about with the manifestation, like that's just a portal within itself, being able to set an intention and for it to come into fruition, like, zoop, portal.
Period.
I agree.
I hope we can answer like the rest of these questions in another episode.
know. It's about.
We might have to do a part two.
I was gonna say, we're gonna save them. We should.
It's like 9
separate
questions
them,
left.
and we can definitely
Maybe.
put them in the story one day. So
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking. I
Or
could
we
share
should,
it
or we
on-
can have a game night one day. It doesn't have to be, you know, a recording session. We can just, you know, film it and.
Look, don't play with me because I love games. I bring up the red table talk. But yeah, so how did everyone feel? How everyone feeling?
I'm ready to start some stuff.
You ready to start something?
You know what?
I have some hanky panky.
You can manifest what
That's what I want to
masturbating
start.
too. That's the best time to
But I
do it
could
too
do
as
it.
well.
I'm feeling lazy today. I need somebody else to do it.
But yeah,
They say wine goes straight to the girl, and
you over there thriving, Leslie?
Yeah. Not a mess.
But yeah, so I love vagina from my obviously my introduction. I'm big on vagina, so I'm so glad we got to have this talk. Maybe we could have a part 2, but if not, we're gonna answer these questions among each other. We might share some on our Instagram story, so be ready to engage. All right, and then I just want to leave y'all with something. All right, I want to make sure that all of you stay empowered, sensual, sexual, creative, and spiritual beings, and understand that the power lies within you. All right, and that's for all my beautiful women and all of my wombs.
Wait a minute, I'm sorry. One more thing, because Alicia's not gonna say it. Y'all make sure y'all get y'all Yoni steam.
I was about to say it.
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
I was about to say something too.
Come on now, because I've been using it and it's been a whole change.
Yeah, I know, right? So I make a beautiful, beautiful, strategic, and energetic blend of herbs and a Yoni steam blend. But it's to help with health issues that you have down there, but the way I charge it is a lot of energy there, so make sure you get a Yoni steam. You can find it at promises2care.com, and you can also follow me at promises2care on IG. Okay.
So, can we expect maybe vajacials out of you also?
I do want to do vajacials, but I probably do like personally, you know, like, yeah, and I want to do facials too. I like to do all of it, but
Okay.
yeah, because, you know, I don't
Thanks
know.
for
I
letting
love
us
to take
know.
care of the vagina.
Good to know.
Yeah. But you probably could expect among, like, people I know that I'll be creating a vagina, like, drink.
A Yoni talk.
I was on this episode going to share, like, my coochie smoothie, like, to get the vagina to, but I ain't ready for that yet.
We don't get it all to her for the second set of
I don't know.
questions.
If we get like, let's put some likes on. Let's put something on the line so that we can get the people this coochie smoothie. So if we get how many hours of stream time?
Anything.
How many hours of stream time? We need
500
15
followers.
hours of stream time. We need 20 saves.
If we could get 20 comments, all right, 20 comments, then I'll share this smoothie recipe and even a juice blend that will have your vagina on WAP.
That's how
Get you to the Yoniverse.
Guaranteed, 100% guaranteed WAP. Ask about
Drop
it.
the mic.
I can call them. Ask. I'm not playing.
Welcome to the
But yeah.
Yoniverse.
But yeah, so thank you all for exploring this Yoniverse with us. Peace and love. Peace and love.